welcome back to the Curacel AI Insurance Podcast. Very excited to introduce our guest here today and our co-host. First, Collins, would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay. First of all, thank you. Thank you for having me in a session. So my name is Collins Agesa. Currently, I work in Kenbright Insurance Brokers as an insurance manager. What entails on running day-to-day running of the brokerage business. That is the operation, the claims, the underwriting. So from my background, I think I've had the privilege of coming from both sides of the key subsectors for insurance, that is claims and underwriting and bits of business development. So I can say I've taken a non-conventional way my career has taken the non-conventional way because I think most people start from underwriting bit and then now you progress to claims and everything. But I think for me, I started from claims now, moving now to underwriting and now we're in business development. So I can say at least I've had the privilege of having the overview of each angle, looking at the insurance from each main angle. And
Mm,
I think, as Abdullah said, I think it's prime time uh, for such discussion, especially on the adoption of new technology, the insurance. Because I think this is one of the areas we've lagged behind in terms of adoption of new technologies. For example, you can just do a brief comparison. Just take the insurance industry compared to the banking industry. You'll find maybe for them, especially in the African market, they have adapted to the technology quite fast compared to the insurance. So I think, especially on the claiming side, we are slow, but at least I think we're getting somewhere. So having guys like you, having guys like Ken Bright now coming up, because I believe we are the drivers. Because traditionally it will be you look at the regulator to do something before. But
yeah.
I'm glad, especially in the Kenyan landscape, it has been open and
Yeah.
people actually appreciating the new innovations coming up.
Absolutely. And Collins, thank you for outlining essentially the topics that we're going to be discussing today. I really want to ask you about your journey, your interesting journey towards the end, and we'll dive into the technology piece in just a second. But quick intros for myself and Abdul. I'll go ahead and introduce myself second, and I'll pass it to Abdul. So I'm Jeremy, head of community at Curacel, AI-powered infrastructure for insurance. Teams like Jubilee Insurance, Old Mutual, and AXA love Curacel because they save over $40 million in fraud, waste, and abuse, automate their claims process, and reduce claims turnaround time by over 70%. So and Abdul, would you like to do a brief introduction for yourself as well?
Sure. Thank you very much, Jeremy, and nice to have you here, Collins. So I'm Abdul Jabbar Momo, Enterprise Sales Director here at Curacel, and we're really excited about this conversation today, and we always look forward to learning more about the ecosystem for insurance, especially in East Africa these days. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So Collins, let's dive right in. Can you tell us a little bit more about your responsibility on the team? And as a follow-up to what we were talking about before, how does technology play a role in your role today?
I think the insurance of today, especially for coming from a brokerage, I think technology is key, especially when you're looking at the day-to-day tasks that you undertake. So you'll find there are those tedious tasks, there are those monotonous tasks that are usually there. So I think that is the basis actually for automation. So it's an angle I know in our market has been some people look at the automation as a way of maybe downsizing the company, but I think from especially from Kenbright perspective, automation is more of enhancing the performance of that employee. Yeah. So maybe you are sending 10 emails a day. If you have an automated tool that helps you in that, that means that time that you're using to send those emails, if you're able to plug in the good system or anything that will make that process, that means you leave this personnel with more time not to focus on other growing areas of the business. So what I do in my day-to-day business, especially, I can just summarize it as day-to-day operations. So you'll have the finance bit of it, you have the narrating bit of it, and clips bit of it. And I think for my side, I'll say maybe we, at the end goal, we are the beneficiaries of what you guys do, because if the insurer is able to process claim faster, we are the tail end, we benefit, because that's another side position. You'll say in our market is the claims is where the rubber meets the road. Yeah. So you'll have, I'm paying premium. What am I getting? Not only that, in terms of that, because even today, the clients are looking at what extra am I getting? Yeah. So yes, I'm paying premium. Yes, you're paying claims. So what else? So what is the convenience that am I getting this insurance? So I think technology has come in now major way for us. I will say in terms of distribution of products. I think we are the one of the pioneer brokers for incorporating motor vehicle aggregator, the vehicle.co.ke, whereby now, instead of now pitching for one insurance, and a client can be able to get a range of products from different insurance at a go. And I think that convenience has become a key, especially to the penetration of the insurance industry. Because I know this in sub-Saharan, I think the penetration rate of insurance has been quite low. And even you find in the region, you'll find most regulators in Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya, their main theme right now is increasing the penetration rate. I think so. It's only I just saw the report the other day saying South Africa contributes about 60% of the gross written premiums
In
in Africa.
Africa, the way
Yeah.
ahead of everyone else.
Can you imagine? That means if you combine every other person, you still get 40% of the market. So I think the only or the most we'll say manageable way to increase the penetration rate has been the technology. And by technology, not only that those technologies that is you'll say forced upon client, but you'll find there are those now that are pro client. So by pro client is you look at it, how do you define maybe pro client technologies? How easy can they how easy is it for the client to interact with the technology you're coming up? Because I've seen there are some products coming up. Yes, they're tech savvy, but to the end client, they'll be like, it's good, but it's difficult to use. You get it. So we are looking at not only just automating each and everything, we're also looking at how is it for the client to use it. Yeah, because I think the biggest problem, I wouldn't say a problem, but I think the biggest challenge that you have seen in the market is copy pasting. So if it works in Europe, you want to same way in Africa. You get it? So I think that's one area we are looking at. So the homegrown solutions, and I'm glad even right now, even in terms of the IT capacity, in terms of developers in our country, you have even tech firms like Safaricom now coming up with even better products, common market. So I think for me, I'm excited. Just waiting to see how this landscape actually looks in the next 2, 3 years, maybe long term, 7 years, 10. But
Yeah,
at least of what I'm sure of, we'll be somewhere. We will not be talking about the rate of, because I think in Kenya right now we're at 2.7% penetration.
yeah.
So
I mean, I have a full-on question because you mentioned something very important. I mean, we're going to come back to the claim side in a bit because you also mentioned, the need for technology because again, at the claims point is where the rubber hits the road, and of course, that's where your clients expect you to be, super, what's it called, proactive with your turnaround time, and answering to those claims. But on the distribution side, you mentioned something very important as Kenbright being the pioneer for motor insurance distribution, leveraging digital channels and aggregators. Could you, shed a bit more light about that as to how did the quest for that, come about and How is that process going for you? How are you currently, using technology to drive motor insurance penetration? Like what channels are you leveraging, and how is this working for you today?
Okay. So I think in terms of distribution, the take is always from, you see, as a client, maybe I'm buying a motor insurance, you'll get an option. Let's say it's a good thing actually. You guys have interacted with a bit with the market, and there are players like Jubilee or Mutual and stuff. So I'll just give you an example. You'll get a client as a broker. You get a client one quote. Let's say this is the pricing of your car from Old Mutual. But you see, as a client, there's that question of, am I getting the best that there is in a market?
Yeah. Okay.
You understand? So, and now the question again would be, does it mean that you'll go now to all 42 underwriters, maybe 30 of them, get an individual quote for each one of them, and present it in form of a PDF form or the client? As much as the client wants to know, am I getting the best, or what are others in the market quoting or giving? So it becomes, at the end of the day, become bulky and too much information to the client.
Yeah.
So by doing the aggregator, by coming up with the model aggregator, that means from a client perspective, instead of getting all these 30 PDFs telling you what benefits you are, so you have just, it's an app, keying the details, value of the car, is it comprehensive, is it motor private, it's able to show you at instant what more than 28 underwriters are getting, are giving at that price. So it's a more convenient. It is more in terms of summary. So a client is more of, able to know not only this Old Mutual giving at this price, but also Jubilee, what are they giving at the price, what the difference, why the difference in pricing and stuff like that. So it's more bringing that convenience to the client, and also that quality information. Yeah. Because now again, you don't want to do that bombarding. You have 10 PDFs, 15 PDFs. Even for me, from your side, if I send you 10 PDFs right now, look at them.
Okay, for one motor insurance.
Yeah. So it is more of just giving that convenience to the client, and also you being able to make your own informed decision without even talking to anyone. Yeah. So, and it does not only come in motor, we also have retail, for a medical retail. So at this point, I think right now we are live for medical retail. So for mere convenience, for mere sit at home, just chatting, you can able to see these are the pricing from different insurance. What do I want? Is it within my budget? Proceed, purchase, and you have your cover without even out talking to anyone.
Absolutely, that's amazing. We even do have lots of use cases powering. Again, motor insurance is one of the biggest insurance products moving in the continent. It's very important to have solutions that help people both with the underwriting and the claims process. So let's track it back a bit to claims. So again, now your underwriting process is going smoothly. You've adopted technology. You are aggregating information and like filtering and presenting the client with what is most useful, awesome solution. Now, this happens in the point of pre-purchase for the policy. Now, the client has bought a policy. They have, let's say, an accident. We really don't like those, even for the insurers, But yeah, we can't control what really happens in our day-to-day lives, right? So an accident happens, the client needs to file a claim. How does that process work for you? And what would you say are the challenges, especially for like motor insurance, for you as a broker, what are your challenges with the claims process? Because that is an area you mentioned, you may also even need like more technological adoption. And of course, that is what impacts your customers' experience the most, right? The claims process. So tell us, how does it work for you? And if you could change a few things around your claims processes, what would you like to be done better?
I would say from my seat, sometimes in a market will say you move and you find yourself you've moved fast. So I think the biggest challenge, especially coming from a brokerage perspective, is that handshake. Because you see, at the end of the day, the insurer is the bearer of the risk. They are the
Yeah.
ones paying the claim. So I think the biggest challenge I would say is that handshake between the broker and the insurer in terms of at the point of claiming. Because you see, as a broker, you automated the entire process, the entire customer journey. You've mapped, like even go ahead and even mapping of in terms of garages, service providers, towing, so that when the client gets a claim, they know I have this garage here, I have the towing agency near me, is this one, and stuff like that. But see, at the end of the day, the insurer also has to come up to speed with what you're doing. So sometimes you'll find you've done some automation, but the insurer still lagging behind. So, and that's why I said I appreciate where you guys like you come in when you have more like you now. It's easier to push the insurer to be more upbeat, to uptake even more now adoption of these technologies. Because I think that is the biggest challenge. Because you move, and sometimes you find yourself you moved fast than the actual bearer of the risk. So if we're able just to align and adapt at the same pace, I think it's easier. I wouldn't say they are not doing it, but because I've seen for the last 2, 3 years, you find even most insurers have tried automating their claiming processes, common, how it's reported. So for me, I think it's just handshake. From our side, I would say we are ready in terms of uh, finalizing, just making sure that customer journey is end to end between us and the.
Okay. Yeah. So if I got you correctly, you are very much ready, for the next level of tech-powered claims processes. And you just need some more insurance to get up to speed with their infrastructure so that handshake could be easier because you have the ecosystem in check, you have the customer experience in check, and you also have the tech capacity to automate these processes. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, that is true.
I trust this would be a wake-up call, for some other players in the industry. Technology is here to revolutionize the space, as we've seen in financial technology. And like you said, the best time is now. I'll hand it back over to Jeremy. I'm sure you must have some burning questions.
Absolutely. And
Jeremy?
as we're getting to the end of the podcast, I'd love to touch on the story you alluded to, Collins, earlier about your journey. I'd love to understand how did you get into the industry, right? You mentioned it was unconventional to start in claims. Also curious why you feel that's unconventional. And how do you feel that your experience starting your career in claims influences your work today? How does that maybe contribute to how you think or maybe, yeah, the strategies you use today?
Okay, I think for me it was that curiosity of just knowing. So I would say how it has influenced how I look at business, especially coming from claim perspective. It's more of even when you pitch to that client about an insurance product, the most ideal, you're not looking at it as a sale, you're looking at it as a value. What value does this client has to get for buying this product? It's not just a sale. So because from my background, I look at it is this person agreeing to buy this product and agreeing to actually paying the premium, it should be, you look at it from a point of, in terms of a claim, you should be also be able to seamlessly settle that claim how they got it. So when you pitch a product, when you pitch a service and everything, it's more of, are you able to deliver of what you're promising? You're not just going, because you'll find I think conventionally when people start from sales, it's like just getting the numbers. You want the numbers, but coming from claims, you always look like at it from point of, will I be able to deliver what I'm pitching? Yeah. So I'd say that has been the biggest influence, and I've been privileged at least to have a look at it from that perspective, so that at the end of the day, you're looking at a client and you're able to face them and tell them whatever I'm telling you, I know from the background. It is true, it can be done.
Hmm. And do you feel
I
that
have one burning question.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So, I mean, I know we're coming to the end, but there's something I really would like to hear your opinion on. there's been a buzz around the impact of AI in the insurance industry, and I see Kenya, has also been at the forefront of those conversations very recently. In almost all of the insurance conferences, that has been, a major theme of discussion. What are your thoughts on the impact and the future of AI in insurance, Collins?
I think even as an organization, we're proactive on that discussion, and in terms of even just taking initiative. So I think the impact of AI in insurance, generally in, I would say, growth. It has provided an entire platform, an entire chance for growth for the industry. It is more of giving life to the traditional insurance. I feel like it is one of those things that has taken people off their seat. Like now people are able now to at least confirm this is what we need to be doing, this is what we need to be doing. You'll find even, I think in Kenya, those insurance that you'll call them traditional insurance. They just like it the way it is. Yeah, I think is it that Toyota that Toyota Japanese? If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Don't
So, but I
fix
think
it.
yeah, but I think now with AI, I've seen people now warming up. People even now taking people who never used to engage in anything technology. They're not up and talking, actually just having that conversation. So I think from my side, this is the opportunity for growth. Not only growth, also for streamlining of the way insurance is taken in the country. So I usually just give a reference with the banking industry. You find the banking industry are more flexible in adopting new technologies. So I think for AI in insurance, and especially in Kenbright, it's just has bring that flexibility to the market, and that just an eye opener to the people, like waking up and say, okay, actually this can be done. Just having that, those people that traditionally like, no technology, take it, give it time, we'll get there. Those are the ones now saying, okay, what is this AI? How can it help us? Yeah. So you'll find even people you never used to have, even just have that dormant website. They even have chatbots, stuff like that. So I believe for us, it's a great opportunity, and just I feel like it's a trigger for adoption of technology, especially in the insurance industry.
Awesome, awesome. And folks, we'll have the LinkedIn in the description. Collins, thank you so much for speaking with us in our community again today. And thank you, Abdul, for the wonderful questions. Everybody, we'll see y'all next time. Thank you so much.